What do two rats have to do with South Africa? Imagine two rats living in the same tunnel. Every morning they wake up with empty stomachs. Every night they go to bed with empty stomachs. Neither owns the tunnel. Neither owns the cheese. When they meet, they greet each other. They understand each other because they are both fighting the same battle. Then, one day, everything changes. One rat discovers a hidden room filled with cheese. Not one piece, not two. More cheese than it had ever seen in its life. At first, nothing seems different. The rich rat still walks through the same tunnel. It still passes the same rats, but something invisible has changed. Its voice becomes louder. Its confidence grows. Its walk becomes slower. Soon, it no longer looks at the other rats as equal. Yesterday, they were surviving together. Today, one is giving advice to the others. Work harder. Be smarter. You should have done what I did. The hungry rat look at each other. Wasn't that the same rat begging beside us yesterday? Now the tunnel feels different. The cheese did not change. The rats did. Keep listening, because this story isn't really about rats. Across Africa, millions of people dream of a better life. Some cross borders looking for work. Some leave because there are no jobs. Some leave because they simply want a chance. For decades, South Africa has attracted people from many African countries. Many arrive with almost nothing. Some sleep in crowded rooms. Some sell fruits. Some repair phones. Some cut hair. Some open tiny shops. Some fail. Others succeed. Years later, some employ workers. Some own businesses. Some become part of the community. But success can sometimes create a new problem. Imagine you are born in a township. You have searched for work for years. Life keeps getting harder. Then you see someone who arrived with almost nothing, now running a successful business. Some people see inspiration. Others see competition. Some ask, how did they do it? Others ask, why wasn't it me? That single question changes everything. It spreads from one street to another, from one neighborhood to another. Some politicians begin talking about it. Some blame foreigners for unemployment. Others argue that migrants are creating businesses and jobs. Business owners become worried. Communities become divided. Television cameras arrive. Social media explodes. But what began as tension between neighbors suddenly becomes international news. Governments speak. Embassies issue statements. Families become afraid. But here's something most people never stop to ask. Is the successful migrant really the reason millions of people are unemployed? Or is unemployment a much bigger problem that existed long before many migrants arrived? And here's another question. Is every migrant honest? No. Some commit crimes. Most do not. Is every South African hostile to migrants? No. Many reject violence and continue living peacefully with neighbors from across Africa. The loudest voices are usually the ones that make headlines. The peaceful majority rarely does. So think about the tunnel again. The rats believed they were fighting each other. But what if the real problem wasn't another rat? What if the tunnel simply did not have enough opportunities for everyone? When jobs become scarce, people compete. When food becomes scarce, people compete. When hope becomes scarce, people compete even harder. Sometimes they compete with the wrong people. History has shown this over and over again. When people feel left behind, they often blame those they can see instead of the system they cannot. That doesn't erase the pain felt by people who struggle to find work. It also does not erase the fear experienced by migrants who become targets of violence. Both experiences are real. Both deserve to be understood. The tragedy is that two groups facing many of the same hardships can end up seeing each other as the enemy. So let's return to the two rats. One has a room full of cheese. The other has an empty stomach. One fears losing everything. The other fears never having anything. What if they asked a different question? Who built a tunnel where only one rat could feel secure? Maybe the biggest lesson isn't about choosing which rat is right. Maybe it's about realizing that a tunnel with enough opportunity leaves far less room for fear. So here's my final question. If you were one of those rats, would you spend your life chasing another hungry rat? Or would you start asking why the tunnel never seemed big enough for both of you?